You see, these terrorists were people who I see every day when I was there. You wake up and you hear that hundreds of people were killed in a village. We are tired of living without food or water. We are tired of going up the mountains or climbing the trees in order to escape. He said, go with the mantle and the blessing of Our Lady, our Mother Mary. You will see what she will do with you. And he gave me the rosary. My name is Father Innocent Sunu. I'm a priest of the Catholic Diocese of Maiduguri, northeastern Nigeria, and I am here now working in Ireland, in the Diocese of Elphin, in St. Peter and Paul's Catholic Church at Lone. My experience and my own life with our Mother Mary is something that goes back to my childhood and when growing up with other children back home in Nigeria. When you go to Nigeria today, you see clearly, especially in our churches, in our Catholic churches, where the Marian societies or the Marian groups are spread all over, you know. And we grew up thanks to our mothers who try to do their best to imbue and to build this relationship of the prayer of the Rosary in us, the children. Growing up was very fun, and growing up was all about the Rosary, which is part of the function that we do every evening in Nigeria. These rosaries, the prayers, will take place either in someone's house. Some parents have enough space in their homes, and then they will invite us to say you can come for the rosary every evening. If there is no space in any parent's home, we usually will go to the church, which is always open, and the priest and the catechist and some other people will always join us to pray the rosary. Something that we will try to do, probably not liking it because we would love to either be playing either football, soccer, or any other games, but as soon as we come back, the next agenda is the rosary. It was about praying for ourselves, praying for our families, praying for the world, and praying for our faith to be intact. All over Nigeria, if you go up to today, just mention the block rosary. Even people who are not Catholics, they know what the block rosary is all about. Just mention anything about the Marian Crusade. Even those who are not Catholics, even Muslims, they know everything, even more than some Catholics or even Christians, about the Rosary, the Mary League, the Block Rosary Crusade, the Legion of Mary, and all other societies that belong to our Mother. A lot of people will tell you they can't sleep without the rosary on their neck. And I have it till today. Myself, I cannot imagine not having the rosary on my neck at all times. Sometimes I don't know if it is out of faith or out of belief. But if I have to sleep well, especially if I suffer from anything called insomnia or whatever, I just start praying the rosary. And then before I know it, I am off and I sleep happily and peacefully. Growing up in the seminary, the rosary became like a function for me. Then going to the major seminary, the rosary became a prayer for me. So after the seminary, then getting ordained, the rosary became something extraordinary for me. And then I imagined myself. I said, you are a priest now. And as a priest that you are holding the rosary and you are praying, and by which you know the meaning more than even those who are holding the rosary on their hands. So you discover that life becomes something extraordinary for you. And then the rosary becomes something that you have to hold on every day, and you pray with the rosary. So it became something very, very important for me. And then when I was posted to a certain place, a certain difficult place, where I had to go out of myself. When I mean by going out of myself, I have to be extraordinarily. I have to be no longer innocent. I have to be human and divine at the same time. But I am human being, so I needed something divine to be in me. And then the rosary became something very impactful for me. And what was it? It started with the bishop, our own bishop. When I was sent to that difficult place, like I will always tell people, there was nothing. The whole church was burnt. The whole priest, there was no priest house, it was burnt down. We had a clinic, it was burnt down. We had the convent, it was burnt everywhere where it was just scattered. So when the bishop said, you are going there, everyone was saying, oh no, why will he be going there? This young man, why will he go there, And then, of course, I was expecting the bishop to say, okay, you are going there, you need some extra support, like my feeding money, my petrol money for my car, my money for the church vestments, and extra, much things. But no, he didn't say anything. He just took the rosary and gave to me and said to me, take, go with the blessing and the mantle of our mother. She will be with you. He said this was to me, you will see what she will do with you. You know what I mean? He said, go with the mantle and the blessing of Our Lady, our Mother Mary. You will see what she will do with you. And he gave me the rosary. But then I looked at this rosary and I smiled and I happily accepted. Then on my first day of Mass, the very first day I was going for Mass, I had the rosary in my car. Not the rosary the bishop gave to me now, no, but this is the rosary I was hanging inside my own car. And I was seated in the car. I was weeping, I was crying, because the whole place was all destroyed, all burnt. And then the rosary from the mirror in the car, the middle mirror in the car, at the windscreen, it fell off. Somehow I think my head, I was trying to just stand up from my sleeping, from my praying, and then it fell off. Then I looked at it, I picked it. Then a young boy came and knocked at the side door and said, Father, the people are waiting for you. And then the boy, in his own altar servant's clothes, he was having his rosary too on his neck. Even though this is very common, there is nothing special about it, but it's very common among people back home in Nigeria. And then I held this rosary. I brought out the rosary that Bishop gave to me, and then I said, my Mother Mary, Bishop said you are going to be with me. Please be with me as I begin to walk in this parish. And that became historical. That became extraordinary. That became very powerful. Because if I am to tell you the influence, the effect of what the rosary had in my life and in the life of other people where I walk, we will have the whole of today. Because it became something extraordinary that even Muslims will come to ask me, please, especially Muslim soldiers now, let me not say the generality of Muslim soldiers where I worked, where it was a war zone area, will come to tell me, please, Father, we need the rosary. And I will give Muslim soldiers rosary. I will pick the rosary and I will give it to them. And non-Catholics who are just Christians will come to tell me, Father, this rosary of a thing, this thing is very powerful. We went into battle today and we were successful. We had everything good. Now, not good in the sense that you think as in fighting with the enemy, and not just enemy of humanity, but enemy of Christianity, enemy of Catholicism. I had soldiers who will have rosary on their wrists. I have soldiers who will have rosaries on their neck. I have soldiers who will have rosary on their guns. There was nowhere they knew. A soldier came to me and told me that he has received over 5 rosaries from me. He had it everywhere, in his pocket, in his room, on his gun, beside his bed, everywhere. And sometimes, even those who don't believe will come forward to tell me, oh, this is what God has done to me through this rosary. And particularly our Bishop, Bishop Oliver, if you are expecting him to give you bread, no, he will give you rosary. If you are expecting him to give you water, yes, he will give you water and food, but he will always give you rosary. It's the gift he will never say no to. He brings rosary in bags. If Bishop Oliver has €1 today, he will use the whole of €1 to buy rosaries to give it out to people. There was a day he said to me, I am bringing something for you. So I said, oh, Bishop is bringing something for me. And I thought it's a whole, some kind of something I will personally use to appreciate. He brought a bag of rosary for me and he said, distribute them, give it to people. Our Mother Mary is working, and she has worked, particularly from where I come from. If I am tempted to be going for shopping, especially in our liturgical shops, anytime I see any rosary, if I have any money in my pocket, I buy the rosary. In my room, I have more than 100 rosaries. Sometimes I tell myself, why are you buying these rosaries? One is enough for me. But I discovered that it's never enough. Because at any time I wake up, I have rosary by my side. I have rosary on the floor. I have rosary above my head. So once my hand touches the rosary, I just pick and I begin to recite the rosary. And that is how it is. Like I told you, in the first place, if after ordination I knew I was going to that place, I would have said no. But I didn't know I was going. And even before the bishop sent me there, when I saw his call, my phone was ringing and he was calling me. I picked and he said he wanted to discuss something with me. And then I said, oh, I'm free. He can. Then he said, I am going to send you to this place called Madagali, where the Boko Haram have destroyed the entire community and the entire church. But then he said to me, you have your option to say yes or no. I am not forcing you to go there. If you don't want to go there, I have other appointment for you. I have other work for you to do. So think about it. I am giving you a month. He said to me, I give you a month to think about it. And then I was shattered. Honestly, I was shattered. I said to myself, why will I go there? What does this man mean? And I tell you, some people even said, oh, they are going to kill this man there. They are going to kill him. Why will he go there? That was after I was sent and after I have accepted to go. Now, after about a month again, he rang me to say, Father Innocent, are you ready now? Are you willing to go there? And then I had discussed that with few friends. I had discussed that with family members. And of course, the answer will be, well, you have accepted the will of God to be ordained as a priest. And then you have taken your vows. And one of the vows is the vows of obedience. Not blind obedience now, but obedience. So I accepted. I said, yes, my Lord, I will go. And then he said to me, I am happy you have accepted to go. I have my reasons why I asked that you should go there. Now, an African adage says, what an elder sees while sitting down, even if you climb a tree as a young man, you won't be able to see what he has seen or what he is seeing. So he said, I know why I'm sending you there, and it's based on to me. But I thank God and I thank you for accepting to go there. And just like I mentioned, before I went there, when I met him, the gift that has changed my story, the gift that has changed my life, the gift that has changed the parish, and the gift that is still changing the diocese was the power of the rosary in which he gave me. You see, these terrorists were people who I see every day when I was there. These terrorists were people whom we breathed together, we lived together. And we knew what they wanted. What they wanted was a complete destruction of our institution, particularly the church. And not just that, but our own faith. Because sometimes you wake up and you hear that hundreds of people were killed in a village, and all these were members of your parish or members of your church. Sometimes you don't sleep because gunshots are the sounds of music that you hear. Sometimes the whole house will be shaking because of bombs that are being thrown all over. EIDs were planted all over, that if you step on them, you are gone. And then we told ourselves as people, we are tired of running. We are tired of living without food or water. We are tired of going up the mountains or climbing the trees in order to escape. What do? We turned our life, we turned to our Mother Mary, always praying to her to assist us, always praying to her to give us peace. This goes back to why I have told you that even Muslims who don't know anything about the power of the Rosary, the power of praying to our Mother Mary, were coming to me to speak to me about the Rosary, and particularly the soldiers who will go into the bush, we call it ambush, to fight with the terrorists. Particularly in our own diocese, the bishop made it this way. Every day before Mass, the parish will say Rosary. And every evening, you see children gather up in the parish to pray the Rosary. And what is our prayer point? And what is our intention? For God to touch the heart of these terrorists, to repent and to give us peace. And what do we see? Right from the beginning of Boko Haram in 2009 up to today, if you saw the number or the kind of destruction, the kind of lives they have the number of people they have killed, the kind of houses they have burnt, the churches they have destroyed, if it is not with the power of prayer, Boko Haram will have finished the entire Christendom in the Northeast. But because of prayer, they only succeeded in touching few. And what I mean by few now, those who were accidentally killed by them or found themselves in a situation where they couldn't do anything and they were killed. If you go to my diocese, over 26 churches, parishes now were burnt down. Like the parish I used to work, I had 41 churches, outstation, we call them outstation, small churches. All of them were burnt down, including the main church. But yes, they destroyed the physical structure. They killed people. But the few of us who are alive today, our faith grew much more than you expect. It grew times 10, I will say, or times 100. Because we now saw that they were not after us, like to destroy us, but they were after our faith. And what is this faith? The faith and the belief that we have as Christians. So we turned into prayer. We turned into the Rosary. So many miracles have happened through that. When you go to my parish particularly, some people will come to give you testimony of the power of the Rosary in their lives, or how they have even given Rosary to repentant Boko Haram people. You know, we don't mention Boko Haram people, the terrorists who have repented. We don't mention them back at home, because if you do mention them, they might come for you. But we have them in numbers who will come to tell me that I was once a terrorist, I was once a Boko Haram member, but now I have repented. I want to serve God. I want to come to your church. I want to come to the Catholic Church. And then they will ask you, not you telling them, they'll ask you, please give me the Rosary. And you are giving them the Rosary. It's already blessed by the bishop or blessed by you. You give them the Rosary. The first thing they do, they put it on their neck to identify with the other people. So Rosary has saved us. If we are saying the Rosary, we discover that other people of different faith come to join us. Like parents who are not Catholics will tell their children, go and join other children to say the Rosary. Excellent, very beautiful. I do see that. Some people who are not even non-Catholics or not Christians, Muslims, they have come many times to tell me they are inspired when they see our children. Because one of the things we do sometimes once in a week, like every Friday in the evening, what we do is we carry the image of the Blessed Virgin Mary, and all of us will be holding a candle, and we go into the village. We do the procession while saying the Rosary. And you see people coming out to watch us, because every child will hold the Rosary, and then one child will hold the image of the Blessed Virgin Mary, and we will be in 2 rows, 2 lines, and we'll be walking and be praying the Rosary and be singing Marian hymns all over the village, round every corner. What are we doing? We are praying for the protection of the village. We are praying for good health for people. We are praying for everything that is good that is surrounding us.
My name is Michael O'Neill, and I'm the Miracle Hunter. And there have been stories of miraculous icons from all around the world through Christian history. And today we're going to look at one of the most famous modern examples, and that is Our Lady of Akita from 1973 in Japan. And the story goes like this, that there was a nun, her name was Sister Agnes Sasagawa, and she was deaf. And she actually one night saw some great lights that she followed down the hallway and went to the chapel there, and she saw an image of an angel appearing before her. And after that apparition, she saw that the wooden statue in the style of Our Lady of All Nations began to emanate messages to her, locutions. And later the statue began to bleed in the hand, and tears flowed 101 times from that incredible statue. And so over the course of years, she reported these locutions to her local bishop, Bishop Ito, who did an investigation that at first rendered no results, declaring it as supernatural. But after consulting with Cardinal Joseph Ratzinger, the future Benedict XIV and the head of the Congregation of the Doctrine of the Faith, he suggested that they do a second investigation. And in this investigation, they came out with the results in 1985 that said these were in fact human blood, human tears that were found to be coming from that statue. The messages of chastisement, of bishops turning against bishops in the church, a great tsunami and great raining fire from the sky that was predicted to happen, those messages may or may not be necessarily approved by the Catholic Church. It's a great controversial message, but those events of Akita, those that bleeding statue, that crying statue, and the cure from deafness of Sister Agnes Sasagawa are one of the things that make this one of the most incredible stories in the history of our Catholic Church. And that was Our Lady of Akita from Japan in the year 1973.